to the other steps in domestic violence. We know we talk about psychological incarceration when it comes to unlock what's inside you. Well, this falls right in line with that because we're talking about the mental part, right? Coercive control leaves deep psychological, how should I say, psychological scars in your brain. Sometimes people cannot unlock that or get away from that unless they get the help that they need. Or they may not even know that they're in that type of prison, right? Because that has been the norm that they see throughout their livelihood until someone actually brings it to them and addresses it. So, go to the next slide.
Okay. I can't be two places.
I got you.
Sorry.
All right, so when most people think about domestic abuse, they picture physical attacks, right? They think about all of the punching, the bruising, and all those sorts of types of things, right? But really, in reality, psychological incarceration is deeply personal to me because I mentioned I'm a survivor, right? I'm a survivor. I was trapped in a mental prison for about 5 years with the only child I have, her father, right? For 5 years, way back in the early 2000s. And so once I've come out of that, I had to go through all of the other steps, right? The therapy, I had to go through getting back into church, I had to go through sharing my voice and telling my story because truth be told, it's hard to share your story for the first time. But what you'll find out is once you open your mouth, there's other people dealing with the same thing, right? So that's what I'm here to talk to you about today, but I want to go on a deeper level where it talks about the legal system, right? When it talks about the legal system, we know that psychological incarceration is something that many people in the legal system don't like to tread on, but there are women like myself and like Dr. Doreen Letson who are in the trenches trying to make sure that the people who are victims and who are trying to get out of those situations have an avenue to get out. But we also try and fight it on the legal front as well. So coercive control, and I want to define what it really is. Coercive control is defined by an expert by the name of Evan Stark, which is a pattern of behavior that strips the victim's liberty, autonomy, and sense of self, right? It also is not just about the physical violence, but it's about controlling every aspect of a person's life. So you have isolation that people deal with, right? Where the abuser will try to keep you trapped from everybody else, your family, your friends, the people at the church, you know, your mentors, your motivators. The abuser will actually do that and try to isolate you from that. I know because I've been there. I was isolated from my own family. Right? They will even go to an extreme point to where there's surveillance. People say, we need surveillance. Well, we know now with technology, there's air tags. They have, air tags they put on your car. They can also follow you on social media. There's also apps they've installed on your phone, and you won't even know that they're following you, even on your phone, to know your every move. So be mindful about those kind of things too as well. And also let other people know that they can actually do that, not even know that they're actually doing that. So be mindful of that. There's also financial abuse. And sometimes we don't think that we're in a financial abuse situation until we see we have no money, right? And so the financial abuse, when it comes to the abuse, is they use that tactic to keep you in that situation by telling you that you can only spend so much money. Or they'll tell you that you don't need to work, I got you. Sometimes I know we as women, we see someone sometimes, whether it's a male or female, we connect with them. You're like, oh, they got all this money, and you see all the flashy stuff, but you don't really know this person until you get to know them. And all that stuff that you've seen, now they're saying you don't have to work, now you're totally dependent on that person, and now you can't get out. So that's another way of being able to trap someone into financial abuse, controlling all the money so that way the victim cannot leave, right? And then there's also threats and intimidation. So these are the things that happen before you get to the physical aspect. They'll tell you things like, I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna take the children from you, or I'm gonna make sure you don't get the children when we go to court, right? And, or again, when it goes to the financial part, you think about the financial part, you don't have the money to